How's it going? I think I would learn this by now. All right. Yeah. You must tell. I need to shave. We're gonna shave up this weekend too. We're gonna shave up too. I'm making this video because I'm kind of bored. There's been no action here at Wawa, none at all. This is a good Wawa, and that's kind of why I like it, because there really isn't too much action here. I've been in other Wawas that are... You've seen the videos. It's okay. I could use the break. It's getting late anyway. And I already told you in the last video what I'm going to do. I need to do it, It's not that I'm scared of the doctor or anything, I don't like hospitals. I was in with the smells, and all right, I'm scared of the doctor, okay? So I don't like people poking and prodding me, and because the next thing you know, they put on rubber gloves, bend over, and you know what I'm talking about. And I've never had one of those up to this point. I'm still a virgin, and I've had enough pain in my life, man, can't they use one of them CIA cameras, that are like this, and just, crawl that thing up there? I might be able to tolerate that, if the CIA can do it, why can't I, what do you want from me, you want to crawl up my ass with a flashlight? It better be skinny, real skinny. Unless it's Saturday night and I got a few, weekend time, then maybe it can be a little wider or whatever, but, other than that, that's where I draw the line, if it's a Saturday night, that's one thing, but the rest of the week, CIA job, we have to draw the line somewhere. I can't wait to meet these doctors tomorrow. I am. I'm going to tell them about my alien implant. I'm going to tell them about it. You have to go further back in my videos, to learn about my alien implant. But it's in there. I can prove it. I'm going to have some fun with the next doctor I see. I'm going to tell her the story and say, hey, prove me wrong, Because that's one of the funny things about this show is, the things I say, prove me wrong, That's why I'm trying to shy away from the homeless thing. I know I've been talking about, it's homeless and but, these guys are just, whacked out, people out of their heads, and, I'm whacked out of my head too, and I've never been trained. I haven't even trained my own whacked out head, and how can I, train another whacked out head, that's probably going to turn out real bad for me, so I'm just, I'll throw them a few bucks, buy them some pizza, and say, hey, I can't eat all this pizza, sure, I'll throw them a couple of bucks for that, Hey, listen, if you really want to make money, get a roll of paper towels and a bottle of Windex, and I'll even buy it for them, Sean, this is how you do it, Hell, it was a woman that taught me that trick. That's the thing about America, man. You got to listen to the women, too. You do. You got to listen to the women, man. It was a woman that taught me about, the Windex and the paper towels. It's, I've eaten well and drank well and stayed in cigars. Let's fire one up now. We're going to hang out here at Wawa's for a while, I hang out here a lot, I do. I like the Wawas. I like them all over the country. The first time I saw them was up in Missouri somewhere. I don't know where their main headquarters is, but the first time I started seeing them was in Missouri. And I said, Wawa, what kind of name is that? They ain't never going to make it, Wawa, But Now they're everywhere, and they're my favorite. I come to Wawa's before anybody. I do. I look for them specifically because of the prices. The prices on things I like. If you want tobacco, Wawa is the place to go. Now, I'm not promoting Wawa because they're a corporation and we don't do that on our channel, but I'm just saying, anybody that's watching me, if you need to get to a safe place, Wawa is definitely a safe place to go. Good slushies. They do have alcohol if you need it. They do keep the beer coolers locked, so don't just think you're gonna walk up into a beer cooler and I can't take it anymore. That ain't gonna happen, man. You gotta pay for it, and then somebody comes back with a key, and I don't blame them for doing that, man. I don't blame them for doing it. I don't, not at all. There's some crazy shithouse rats out there. There are, man. I don't have an answer for everything. I don't. I think, this country is not the country I grew up in. It's not. It seems like we have less morals. There's not so many morals anymore. You don't. I mean, it's an accident, when you see a pretty girl and you don't see her boyfriend, you don't see the guy, there's nobody around, you see this pretty girl, like, hey, what's up, next thing you know, there's some guy in your face, that's my girl, you don't really need to pull a gun, I don't know, it's, but today, they just start shooting. I don't know. Anthrax in the mail. And, I get it about, pandemics. This is another thing that's got me a little bit confused. And this is just my knowledge of what I know about pandemics. Let's just go back to World War I, and I've probably said this already, I probably have in a past video, but I want to say it again about these pandemics and why we should not be afraid. During World War I, the Spanish flu, influenza broke out. That was, 1919, I think, 1920, it really got bad. But every 30 years after that, the fit hit the shan, after influenza, 30 years later, it was polio. And it struck the children the worst. I do even believe that my father had some issues with that, and that's why he had to wear those really thick glasses, but he survived, God bless. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. And then 30 years after that, in the 80s, the early 80s there, AIDS, AIDS just, it's still here today, man. You can still catch that shit today, And about humping monkeys, somebody humped a monkey and then, I ain't buying that. There's more to it than that, man. This sounds a lot like herd thinning to me more than anything. And then 30 years after that, it wasn't COVID because, even 30 years after that, it was H1N1, bird flu, swine flu. We got to be scared of cows now. Like what that dude said, all the, pig flu, swine flu, blah, blah, blah. We got to be scared of that, Hey, maybe, maybe the next one's gonna be my parakeet flu. I'm gonna put parakeet flu out there for everybody. Oh, wait a minute, they're not parakeets yet. I apologize. If you go back into the previous video, they are not parakeets yet. They are budgies. until they're flying on my shoulders and flying with me down the road. Then they will be parakeets. Right now, they are in boot camp and they are budgies. And we've ordered some leashes. We're going to do a little training. If anybody wants to send some comments, and I don't care, about the bad ones calling me up. I want the good comments. I know these leashes exist. We're not going to let these birds stay in this cage. I'm not in a position where, that I have a closed up room where I can just let them out of the cage. I kind of live in the wild like they do. So we're going to put leashes on them. I've done the research. I have here. At first I thought around their little ankles, I'd put some yarn, which won't hurt anything, whatever. But in my research, I found out they could chew their little legs off doing that. And, oh man, that would not make a good YouTube video. I'm sure I'd get banned for that one. So we're not going to let anybody chew their legs off. But they do make these little, they're like safety harnesses, like, you would wear to go up in wherever you need a safety harness. I've never worn one myself, and I can prove that. But it'll keep them from being able to get too far, and we'll start handling them, so they get used to us. And I've done a lot of research, and they've already been in the cage for too long, especially Blackbird. He's been in there way too long, and I want to reach in there and pull him out, and hold him for a minute. But in the research, I don't want him to, I don't want him to panic or anything. I don't, I'm learning on this one. They're sleepy now, so I don't want to make too much noise. All right, guys. Well, that's what's going on tonight. Tomorrow, I've already said what we're going to do tomorrow. And, we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, stay out of trouble. And talk to God and say hi to God, because He's watching you.